What's happening, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Let's talk about Conor McGregor's return and him being under the impression that he's pretty much good to go. He just has to pass 2 USADA tests for steroids or PEDs. I'm guessing he thinks that the 6-month mandatory wait should be waived off. USADA fires back and they're like, nope. In conjunction with the clean test, and this rule was established with the UFC, an athlete or fighter has to be in a testing pool for 6 months. So fighters don't game the system. Let's say they retire, get on roids, get on PEDs, and decide, hey, I want to come back now. But the funny thing about steroids and PEDs is that once you take them, you forever alter your body. You're still going to reap some benefits from them. So I understand what USADA is trying to do. They're trying to do something. Something's better than nothing by having like this 6-month gap of like testing. Because they figure like at least the PEDs are out of your system for 6 months. But the way that they work, let's say like with steroids, once you take them, forever going forward, it's a little bit easier for you to recover and develop muscle. The last I checked, that was the science. So the other thing I want to talk about is Conor McGregor wanting a title shot, a crack at the welterweight belt, the winner of Usman and Leon Edwards. How does that make sense? So you beat Michael Chandler and that warrants a title shot at welterweight? Scratching my head right now. But first things first, let's talk about the whole PED thing and USADA. So again, Conor McGregor, he's not even in the testing pool. He hasn't even signed up for the 6-month gap. So him and Michael Chandler, like if they follow the rules, if they follow what they put other fighters through, they're not going to have that fight till probably the end of the year, maybe next year. Now, there is an asterisk with the whole 6-month wait thing and the testing thing. It is at the end of the day up to the UFC's discretion to waive that. And if they do that for McGregor, if they do that for Conor, that's going to be just like blatantly obvious. It'll be a huge black eye on the UFC. And it would be just disgusting, to be honest. Now, let's not pretend that rules are always followed. Let's not pretend that rules apply to every fighter or competitor, because they don't. They definitely favor people. They definitely let some people get away with things. But this one would take the cake. This would be just blatant favoritism, bias. I think there would be a backlash coming from the fans, honestly. Now, we don't know what Conor's on. I was inclined to believe before that Conor McGregor was clean, because his physique, honestly, is not something that is impossible to attain when you're eating the best foods, when you have access to the best equipment, when you have all the time in the world to train, when you have the best trainers 24/7, 365. Yeah, with those kind of resources, you can get in some insane shape, even without that. But with the whole leg break thing, it kind of makes sense that he was taking something to help his leg heal, the bone heal. That makes sense. So leading up to this Chandler fight, he definitely should be tested to make sure most of that junk is out of his system. If he is taking something extra, we don't know. Nobody knows. We just see Conor a lot bigger now. But yeah, man, no, he has to wait. it's the right thing to do. Other fighters have to go through the whole 6-month waiting period, the 6-month testing period. And, yeah, you're bringing numbers. Yeah, you're the biggest mixed martial arts star of all time. Yes, you won 2 belts, but you're not special in the sense that different rules apply to you. At least it shouldn't be that way. Man, if they waive off the 6-month thing, I'm going to be disgusted. So there's that. As far as the UFC welterweight title, Conor McGregor getting a crack at that after beating Michael Chandler, that doesn't make any damn sense. Chandler has been fighting contenders, but he's been losing. He's not a welterweight. They might have the fight at 170, which is like this agreed upon thing, but it's not like Chandler's a contender at welterweight. If you want to compete for the belt, Conor, you have to be a top contender at welterweight to even be in that argument. Yes, being a former champion, that does carry weight. for sure, it's intriguing. But completely skipping the line without proving yourself at all first, beating Cowboy Cerrone years ago, that's not enough. And it's like, okay, what if he defeats either Usman or Edwards and becomes the first UFC fighter to win 3 belts in 3 different weight classes? I mean, yeah, that's amazing. But at the same time, did you have to go through a murderer's row to get to that belt? It's not really the same thing. It's different. You skip the line, you get the title shot immediately. It's way harder to come up the rankings. And I think the fans, I hope the fans are intelligent enough to understand that. Not the Conor McGregor stans. The Conor McGregor stans are going to just kiss the ground he walks on. They're going to be like, triple champ, greatest of all time. And they're not going to use the brain cells that they do have to think, hey, he was kind of gifted a welterweight title shot. It's not like beating contender after contender, earning it. So that doesn't make any sense. I would hate to see that. That would also be pretty gross and disgusting. And I would totally understand the backlash. It's probably safe to say that I'm never going to have a Conor McGregor interview now. But I got to tell it like it is, so be it. Anyway, guys, let me know in the comment section, what do you think about Conor McGregor wanting to skip the whole 6-month thing, dismissing it? He's under the impression you just got to pass 2 tests and you're good. What do you think about that? And what do you think about him wanting a crack at the UFC welterweight title with just beating Chandler? Does that make sense to you? Make it make sense to me. Thanks for watching the video, guys. I'll catch you all on the next one. Until then, take care. Later.